Thrive Podcast, episode 21. The Thrive Podcast is come of age. Just pretend this is a beer. Crack a beer for the Thrive Podcast. Cheers. Happy 21st episode. Thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for joining. This week, exhausted for some reason. Just ran up the stairs to the chair here, I guess. I got new glasses this week. We're rocking new gray piece to the outfit. We're rocking you can't tell, but it's the 2010 football hoodie. My first year of football. Wow, dude. 10 years ago, I started playing high school football. That's kind of... Dang, yeah. I mean, I guess it does seem that long ago. That's a long time ago, dude. Yeah. So this week, I made the biggest business investment purchase that I've ever made. The biggest purchase I've ever made since... That's not true, actually. My laptop cost more. But I bought a 27-inch, top-of-the-line 2013 MacBook. Not MacBook. iMac. Excuse me. Okay, no more sparkling water. I'll just be burping the whole podcast. I bought a 27-inch iMac 2013, like the best one you could get in 2013, just to increase my video editing speed and performance, streamline the workflow. Excuse me. Wow. Yeah, okay, no more sparkling water, 100%. I know I'm going to reach for it in a second, though. But, okay. So I made this large investment. I was just doing a bunch of like eBay looking, figuring out. I was like watching the market for almost a month, like looking up different spec'd out iMacs. I decided I wanted an iMac just to keep myself in the same ecosystem. I also value it being like one piece, not a bunch of cables going from the tower to the monitor to the keyboard to, so like I've got the wireless trackpad and the keyboard's going to come today, and very excited about it. So I was pricing them out over the last couple weeks, and this one came up that was 32 gigabytes of RAM, i7 processor, like 4 gigabytes of dedicated graphics in the graphics card, which after, looking at a bunch of YouTube videos and seeing a bunch of other listings, I kind of learned the significance, at least to some degree, of those things. And yeah, it's going to crush. It's going to crush what I'm working with in this current computer, which I wonder what the stats are in my current MacBook. Yeah, so it's got double the... So my current MacBook Pro is a late 2016, and it's got half the gigahertz in the processor. It's got half the gigabytes of RAM. It's got half the gigabytes of graphics dedicated RAM. So I can safely say that the iMac will be a significant upgrade. So I have heard that Premiere, which is what I edit my videos on, doesn't run well on Macs. Obviously I use it on this MacBook, and it's obvious, like it sometimes it crashes, sometimes I get the spinning wheel and it doesn't go away and it crashes, but I wonder if with more power that will go away, or if that will be, I don't know, even more annoying, since it's like, hey, I've got all this power, but I still have these problems. But I don't know. I've seen videos that are like how to optimize Premiere for Mac, and if not, like if it's really unusable, this is what switches me to DaVinci Resolve. I've got it downloaded on this computer. I've kind of fucked around with it a little bit, but I haven't really taken the time to invest in like learning learning all the, like, I've come so far in my fluency in Premiere Pro, you know? So I don't know. If it's going to run well. Hopefully it'll run well enough to still use, you know? So I also... Oh no, I want to talk about like the auction. So I paid $1,092 for this machine and to have it shipped and stuff. And I bid on it when there was 2 days left and it was like $350. So when in an eBay auction, when there are more bids, you can see, at least it doesn't show you their full username, but like you can see the first and last letter of the username of the people that bid on the stuff. So you can see the different names, and all the way up to the very like last few minutes, I was the only person that bid more than once. So it was like someone would come in and be like, "Oh, good deal," and like bid $50 more or whatever than I was already winning at. And then I would bid $50 more than that, knock that person off, and then a new person would come in and swoop in. Like multiple people would come in and be like, "Oh, this is a nice deal. I'll bid on this." But you know, you see my name moving all the way up. Like I was like, "Oh, I saw it. This was a good deal the whole time. Like I deserve it. Can't you guys see I want it the most?" You know. And then in the last minute of the auction, it went from like $700 to like $10 more or $10 less than my very max amount that I could spend. And the last like 3 seconds of an eBay auction, it's like you don't know what's gonna happen. Sometime like literally in the last minute, I saw it go up like $300, and I was like, "Oh, I'm totally gonna lose it," and it was super stressful. Yeah, and then I won it, and I was like, "Oh, now I have to." It's like I still. It's like, "Oh yes, I won," but then you still have to. But then I'm still paying $300 more than I was expecting to 40 seconds earlier, you know? So it hasn't shipped yet. It's coming from, the shipping itself was $100, and it's coming from Atlanta, and I live in Oregon, so it's like corner to corner of the country. My elbow has been hurting lately, and I figured out why. So when I broke my arm like 5 years ago, and the way I broke it, I'm imagining, so I'm sticking my arm out in front of me right now. My palm is facing up, and it snapped all the way backwards, like at the elbow. So if my palm is facing up, like my knuckles were basically touching the bottom of my arm, like it snapped all the way back like this. And there's like if you like touch your elbow and squeeze it around like this down here, there's like a pad of skin, like a thicker part of skin right here on the elbow that's padded. And basically when I broke my arm, my bone like punched a hole through that. It didn't like come out of my skin, but like the padding of my elbow doesn't exist on this arm anymore because of when I broke my arm. So now like when I'm sitting at a desk all day and my elbows are sitting on the desk, like I didn't know there's only a certain amount of elbow sitting on the desk that my left arm can handle. And it's one of those injuries that it's not even an injury. It's like a residual effect of an injury that's like totally healed, and there's nothing inhibiting about that injury in my life at all. But then it's like, oh, there's this minor inconvenience that is just like there's nothing I can do about it. And it's like, oh, I must learn to love this. Not even, it's like, oh, this is just part of me, and I have to exist with that. So I've been mindful about how I place my elbow down on hard surfaces now. These weird nuances of, like now spending all day sitting at this desk, since it's my job now. I've never had a job where I sit down all day. I've always worked at a restaurant or a bar, like walking around, you know. Yeah, so like the stuff like lower back or shoulders or posture wise, obviously like look at me right now slouching over like this, but yeah, stuff I never considered, or just like the daily baseline amount of calories that I burn even is different. since I'm sitting instead of standing for a significant part of the day, you know. So we're learning about everything. We're learning about the body, how it works, you know. Oh, there's the burps for me drinking the water. I've decided this week, I made one of my goals this week to maybe not even like set it, like get them all uploaded, but to set up an account for the podcast on Anchor, which is going to put it on all like, you know, iTunes and Spotify and stuff. So hopefully that's easy. And yeah. So you can listen to the podcast there. If you haven't joined the Discord server, we're getting some activity going on there. Oh, dude, the NBA starts today. Bro, like, okay, if you're watching this far in the podcast, there must be something about me. Something about me that does it for you. No. And you haven't joined the Discord? You probably will like it. There are people like us, people like you. People like, you're not alone in this world. And the cure to all your loneliness is clicking the links in my description. I've been watching the Post Malone, Joe Rogan podcast the last day. I'm almost done with it, but I love it. I love everything about it. Very entertaining, enjoyable podcast. Yeah, they talk about like just like the connectivity of consciousness in creating things that other human beings relate to, and drugs and aliens and all my favorite things, you know. No, yeah. So I really enjoyed that. You probably saw that came out, but NBA season starts today. Today, in terms of work, before the NBA happens, I got a client video to do, and I'm gonna upload this podcast, and I'm gonna film my like habit update for the month, because it's the end of the month too, and then that'll come out on as my like Saturday episode will be my habit tracking thing. Yeah, dude, I also went on a hike this week in like on the coast near my house, and I'll probably upload that as next week's Moving to California episode. Yeah, a little chill podcast in the house today. Not half as many people in the house right now because my little brothers. I said I would never call them little brothers anymore, but one of my younger brothers is getting braces right now. So I took his like before pictures right before he left. So that'll be fun to. I mean, it's not gonna be fun for him, but because he has braces. I had braces. Everyone in my family. I had it. My younger sister. I don't know if both of my older sisters. I have 2 older sisters, a younger sister, and 2 younger brothers. Fun if you didn't know that about me, everybody. But I don't know if the older ones had braces, but so far, everyone, me and under, has had them. So it's funny. My brother is asking me all these questions about braces and stuff, and it's like, dude, I had braces like 10 years ago. Ask your sister who has them now. You know, ask her these questions. You can, if you're a fan of the Thrive podcast, we've got stickers available in the description for free. And how those work is I throw your name up on the end of the video, and I'll address the elephant in the room. It got to be too many. I used to say them, all the names, and there's just too many now, man. Because I have to re-record it almost every time because I don't want it to chop. Like if 2 people get added in the week, it's gonna be like, you know, Brad, Austin, Kimberly, Jason, Zach, Ben. You know, like if I recorded just that name, I would try. It was just, it got to be too much of a hassle. I'll be honest. I'll be upfront about it. But no. So what I do is, after I record the podcast, that's when I see, and that's when I open up the form, see who added new names and stuff. Then I grab your envelope and I write it as the podcast is uploading. I change the names. I do it all, like all the podcast related tasks are basically like one kind of 2-hour chunk of the week, from when I stop recording on the camera here to when I upload it and send it up. All right, is that even interesting? whatever. Excuse me. We got a new kettlebell coming in today. Adding to the family. Upgrading in weight slightly. This is how my kettlebell purchasing went. I got like a 50-pound one right away. So a huge one. Not much you can do with it other than like squats and deadlifts and swings, you know. Then I got a super light one, 18 pounds, to be able to do basically anything, you know, and it's pretty light. And my younger brother uses it also because obviously he's a smaller person, not as strong as your boy, but yeah. And so then now this one that I got is 26, so I upgraded slightly from the 18 pounder to 26 pounder. So I'm basically gonna do the whole program that I did with the, like in my Joe Rogan workout video, like the On It program. I did it with the 18. I did the whole program basically with the 18 pounder. So I'm basically now just going to do the whole program again, but with the 26 pounder. So getting upgraded, making some upgrades to the hardware so that we can make upgrades to the hardware. All right. Thrive Podcast 21. Tune in next week, episode 22. Thanks for watching. Peace, guys.